It is real. For the first time in 53 years, the New York Knicks are the NBA champions. I still can't believe I'm saying that. New York beat the San Antonio Spurs in 5 games behind Jalen Brunson's 45 points. The New York Knicks are on top of the basketball world, ending a drought that has lasted generations and generations and generations. And as our resident New Yorker, and I guess the closest thing we have to a resident Knicks fan, I feel great. I feel awesome. But more importantly, we're back on the pod. Episode 56. I know Blake just said it. I forgot it. How are we feeling?
How many years till the Nets win one now?
Never.
You guys, you're more likely to move back to New Jersey than win a ring.
Mm-hmm. And let me clear this air very fast. Yeah, so pod, I am a Brooklyn Nets fan, and I am a New York Knicks fan. And the New York, I know that sounds fake, but there's two reasons here. I'll give the fake reason first, which is if every white girl in New York City could do it, I could do it too. All right. But more importantly, yes, I like that. More importantly, family all grew up Knicks fans, and I wasn't in the trenches with them, but I could imagine coming home every night, my dad having the Knicks on, watching Kadeem Allen hit a three to cut the lead to 45, or Alonzo Trier drop 30, or all of these names. The Knicks have been connected.
I like
And
that
then
one. I
over the
like that
past,
poll.
dude, ever since
Lonzo
Jalen Brunson
Trier.
arrived, I mean, they have been not the talk of New York since, but you talk about the way they impact New York City. And growing up, you're just like, shit, if the Knicks ever win, this city's going to burn down. And as someone that was in the city, it didn't burn down. And trust me, I stayed safe. Safe enough. I don't know what I texted you guys, but geez. The New York Knicks are the champions of the NBA world. Anyway, enough. How are we feeling?
Feeling good, feeling good. Sad that basketball's over. Um, Stanley Cup Finals was electric,
Yeah, you can't
but we
even
have
tell that the Canes won it down here, by the way.
but we have the FIFA World Cup, so I'm feeling great. That's been a great watch so far. Um, I probably the best like opening week of FIFA I've watched in my lifetime. So, no, I'm feeling good, feeling real good.
Yeah, this is really nice. As you said, basketball is now over. We got the draft. We're gonna be talking about a little draft today, which is always good to see draft and everything ramp up. But FIFA, man, this is the first time I've really like closely paid attention to first opening week of FIFA. Usually, I'm like kind of in and out, and I'm like checking, not really. But this is the first time I've been really watching it, and every single star, except for Ronaldo, but every single star pretty much scored at least 2 goals. There was a lot of good games. The England game was good. Yeah, a lot of good things. And a lot of the African countries have been holding themselves well. They've been drawn against a lot of super teams. I mean, this is the best Portugal team we've ever seen, and they're DR Congo held their own, and Ghana had a late goal last night. So
Even Senegal held their own for a little, and Senegal is good, by the way. Senegal is gonna, like in my opinion, make the round of 16. But
hopefully, I mean, but they just ran into an unstoppable four. I mean, if you're talking about Mbappe,
I just can't wait until Jordan makes the knockout stages, and then that's the final dent. Like LeBron is not the GOAT because LeBron will not make the World Cup knockout stage. But anyway, let's get into it. But let's
what about Lebanon?
is Lebanon even in the tournament?
No, no. I'm
Yeah,
just saying.
I was gonna say, bro, I think I know all 48 teams and Lebanon's not in it. But anyway, we're not here to talk about World Cup yet, maybe later. Let's
Talk
Talk ball.
ball.
Yeah, so the New York Knicks are the NBA champions, and I'm gonna throw it right to you. What stood out to you guys in this finals? And I guess about the Knicks, Spurs, whatever way you want to take it.
Stood out was how crazy New York is. No, I'm just kidding.
Hmm.
We all knew that. Um, no, I mean, I think what stood out, I think it was really like just how good this team. I think what stood out the most is how good this team is. I think, I think why I say that is because I think as a sports, culture, like a sports world, everybody who watches sports, everybody who's a fan of basketball, NBA basketball is particularly like we've been waiting for this Knicks team to be the best version of themselves. They've, have disappointed and disappointed and disappointed. So I think it was really just like we have waited for this team to be the best version of themselves, and they finally achieved that goal, and they finally did it, and they finally showed what they're capable of. Like everybody knew New York was capable of a championship. Everybody knew New York was capable of going on a run in the NBA playoffs. Everybody knew what Jalen Brunson was capable of. Everybody knew, that supporting cast and what they were capable of. So I think it was really just how good that team is. Um, yeah, I mean, I think like to me, like like I know obviously they won 4-1. The series record doesn't, really show how good of an NBA Finals that was though.
Yeah.
Um, like that was I was watching it with some coworkers and a ton of New Yorkers and New York fans and um like me and one of my coworkers were talking about it, and we were just like, this is probably the best finals. Honestly, this is probably the best NBA playoffs we've watched since I couldn't even remember. Like I seriously was sitting there like I couldn't remember. I said maybe 2019 when Toronto went on that run and Kawhi and the Raptors won it. But like other than that, I couldn't really put a year on when the best NBA playoffs was. Like this year was phenomenal, and the NBA Finals and what this finals brought us just capped it all off. So no, I think it just solidified New York and the Knicks as the best in the East is what you can say now because they are
Best in the
Well,
world.
best in the world too.
Yeah.
what did Noah Lyles say? Best of
Oh,
what?
world champs of
It's a
what?
what? The United States? Nah. No, hats off to the Knicks. They earned it, obviously. This is one of the greatest runs in playoff history, just from the fact of point differential, level of play. I mean, at one point it was 2-2 Atlanta. They were tied up with Atlanta in the first round, and everyone's going, oh my goodness, if they can't get past Atlanta, they're gonna have to hit the Batman button and get Giannis down here ASAP.
Shit, that was
We were
we
that's what we
said
were
that.
talking about a couple
We
months
talked.
Yo,
ago.
I'm
Yeah,
not
we
gonna
talked
lie,
about
y'all
that.
said that shit. I was not saying that
I
y'all.
said it. No, I said
Yeah,
it.
We did.
it was
I
very,
absolutely said
but
it.
it not even just us. Like the world was like, oh
As a
my
collective on
goodness.
the pod did say it for sure.
But
Yeah.
like that was the
We did walk
feeling.
it back though after they started dominating.
Okay,
But
yeah,
after,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
I mean, I never thought they were gonna lose to Atlanta. I thought it would go into 6 games. It went to 6 games. I thought it
Went
was gonna go
six.
six. Yeah.
It won two.
So yeah, yeah. So when the whole world was panicking, I was like, just they'll be fine. But that was a real thought at one point, and then they turned on the burners. And since losing 2 games and everyone being scared out of their mind, they lost one game that was in the finals, and that was pretty much a gimme game where Spurs are down 2-0. They have to get one back. They play really good basketball. And so they sweep the Sixers, they sweep the Cavs. They pretty much just run over the Spurs in the finals in a certain way. Um, what stood out to me was the level of experience and just how much that played a part in it. And last year I thought, because of last year, this year they might be able to overcome it, and that's why I picked the Spurs and they had Wemby. But the fact that they were more aggressive, this is the most aggressive you've ever seen Cat really in a series, either going to the rim or playing defense. Jalen Brunson was his normal self, dropping 40 points whenever he needed it. You had OG who was putting up electric performances. Obviously, the tap in coming back down 30. And it's just the fact that the Spurs were up double digits every single game late in the game. And the Knicks never panicked. They never had a problem. They never had a moment where they were like, oh my goodness, can we overcome this? It was just like shot by shot, we'll take the lead. This is a young team. They cannot close. And we'll talk about, the San Antonio. I got a lot of stuff to say about the San Antonio side, but for the Knicks, it's just impressive how they did this run. This will be one of the greatest playoff teams ever. I know that, we'll yet to see if Jalen Brunson will become one of those all-time elite that we talk about for generations. Obviously, games speaks for itself, but in terms of accomplishments, but I felt like it was just the last thing I'll say is that none of them are homegrown Knicks, which I appreciated.
Well,
because
I mean, like, are you saying like been drafted there?
been drafted from
Yeah,
the start.
yeah.
Now, obviously, they played
Except
there for
only like the ones on the bench. Only like
yeah, yeah, yeah. The
Yeah,
guys on
like
the
Tyler
bench.
Kolek.
yeah,
Yeah, I'm talking about, the core guys. None of them, they all went through trials and tribulations. We know
yeah.
about Brunson in Dallas. We know about Cat in Minnesota and going from Jimmy Butler to, Ant and then, everything. We know about Mikal Bridges after them picks. We know about all these different guys and how they've gotten to this spot. And so it's just interesting to see all the negativity that's been brought on them the last couple of years. Why did we trade for Mikal Bridges? Cat isn't strong enough. Brunson, he's elite, but we need him to do more. All of it culminating into this perfect run. And so sometimes that's what has to happen for you is that you have to play your very best basketball at a specific time. Sometimes things got to go right, but for them, it just everything was just working right at the right time, and they just progressed through the playoffs very easily. And every time I thought, they're playing too well. That was always the thought. They're playing too well. They have to come down from this high, but then they never came down from it. So props to them. Shout out to them. Um, yeah, they're the best in the world. Jalen Brunson's on top of the world. And what can I say about him? Even as a Pistons fan, the man is 6'1", 6'2", doing things that guys who are 6'6", 6'8" are doing. So for him, shout out to Jalen Brunson because he really did his big one. But shout out to the Knicks. Pistons are next,
Definitely.
baby. Pistons are
Mm,
next.
um, honestly, possible. I'll be fast, I swear, but like I'll start with Blake's point about like thinking of the finals that we've watched and the best NBA finals in recent memory or even all time, right? And I know I'm a little biased, and this one will obviously be like the most memorable for me because it's just like where were you when the Knicks snapped their 53-year championship drought? But take out the Knicks, take out New York. How many finals has there been when there's been multiple double-digit comebacks, the largest comeback in NBA Finals history at home at a place called the world's most famous arena? You have two one-point victories, and then you have a 45-point performance in the closeout game that ties Michael Jordan. And even if that was the Sacramento Kings, that's some of the best finals ever. I did not mean to bash the Kings there.
No,
And
go ahead. They deserve it.
cool, yeah,
Trust.
back.
Trust, I got some more for the Kings. I got some more. When we talk about the Spurs, I got some more for the
I
Kings.
bet. But no, just talking about the finals, I mean, this is gonna be memorable for years and years and years. Even when you're not from New York, like it's gonna be for basketball fans. Where were you when the Knicks snapped their drought? Where were you when Wemby played in his first finals? Because like Wemby's getting a lot of shit, and a lot of it's justified. Braun, what's it called? Braun got swept in the finals, right? So if we're having that GOAT debate down the road, which I'm not doing right now, trust me. But let me get back to the point. Um, it's memorable in the fact of how the games were, like you said. 4-1, yeah, sure. But when you look at the point differential, absolutely insane. 2 1-point games. The Knicks came back in game one. They came back in every game. And the OG Anunoby moment is going to be the best in New York sports history. Probably the one of the best moments in finals history. And then just what it means to New York Knicks history. Look, I'm ready to argue that Jalen Brunson's the best Knick of all time. You have Ewing, you have Clyde Frazier, who put up 30 and something in Game 7 when they won in 73. Um, in terms of a story, like who thought Jalen Brunson would be this? No one. And so for him to do this in the Knicks, a whole team of rejects do this, right? Like Tucson, you didn't even mention Josh Hart got traded 4 times, a bunch of different teams. Like LeBron looked sick of him when he was on the Lakers. And so it's just cool seeing a team of rejects do that. And then lastly, like, yeah, it's iconic because it's snapping a 53-year drought, which is the longest in between titles in NBA history. It's iconic because of how they did it. And it's iconic because they were the only team that could have gotten the biggest city, or, and for me, obviously the best city in the world, to rally like that. And their run was dominant, like you said, 16-3. They lost by 6 combined points. They lost on 2 CJ McCollum game winners, and then they lost a game where the Spurs shot over 60% from the field. And now it's just always going to be remembered. And then the most important thing for Adam Silver, obviously, they won the NBA Cup too. No,
Great
but anyway,
advertising there. Great advertising.
yeah, exactly. But incredibly memorable. You could separate it from New York and it'll still be memorable. I'm always going to struggle with that, and I think most people will struggle for that because growing up, Knicks were a joke. They were a joke no matter what team you liked. And like that's partially the reason that I wanted to be a Nets fan. Like the Knicks were a joke. And so seeing them build like this and go like this through all the trials and tribulations, like you said, it's really cool. Is there anything else we want to say on the New York Knicks, or do we want to pivot to the San Antonio Spurs?
I do want to say one more thing. I think the word that kind of caps up what we've all said, and I thought about it after I got finished, was resiliency. Like that was the definition of resiliency. That was the definition of a resilient team was what the Knicks just did in that NBA Finals run. I mean, what was it? 75% San Antonio was leading the whole
72.
Yeah,
series.
Yeah,
more,
72.
probably
72?
more.
72 is
72. It
like,
was 72.
yeah. So, I mean, there's nothing more resilient than that right there. Like that was insane. And I think just watching it, it was like I think like watching it by like game like four, and the greatest comeback in NBA Finals history. Like you watch that and it's like, okay, hold on. Like I kind of found myself rooting for the Knicks there, and I'm supposed to be a guy. I'm a Detroit dude. I rep the Pistons. I'm supposed to be a guy who hates the Knicks. My dad hates the Knicks. I'm supposed to be a guy that does not like the New York Knicks at all. And I was sitting there like, God damn it! I hope New York wins this championship. I mean, like I don't think you like. I just feel like watching that finals and what they just did. If you are a sports fan, if you are a real basketball fan, I just feel like there is no way you can sit there and hate on that, and there's no way you did not find yourself at least just being a fan for at least 2 minutes, being like, okay, this is enjoyable to watch. And I tip my cap off, all respect to New York Knicks. So resiliency to me, man, like that was the most resilient probably NBA
It,
final performance
to
I've seen.
For me, it just was larger than basketball, and I know we've been touching on that. I saw a TikTok of a guy
That
going
too.
to his dad's
Yeah.
grave, dressing a Jalen Brunson jersey over and crying, saying, "Dad, we finally did it." And I'm
Yeah.
Yeah.
like, that made me realize, like, obviously, I know it's bigger than basketball, but it made me feel the emotions because obviously I'm not a Knicks fan, and I haven't gone through that 53-year drought of them not winning it or been a part of that. And so for, your dad to introduce you that and him going and now you see that, that's one of those things that you hold dear to your heart. So that's one of those moments when people are like, sports doesn't matter. And I'm like, people have no idea the power of
Exactly.
Bro,
sports, just how
exactly.
People,
big it is.
yeah, like I don't know if you guys saw the CVS Sports video of like the animation of the guy starting as a kid in a Ewing jersey and then like growing up with his family in Brunson jerseys, or the 47 advertisement where they're just like there's a lot of bad days, glory days, and like we're finally top of the world. You always hear about next year. Like it's not only the Knicks in New York, you could think of so many like the Raptors in 2019 winning their first ever championship, or LeBron bringing Cleveland back from 3-1. And that was Cleveland's first championship in 50 plus years. And that's only the NBA. Like, imagine when the Jets or Lions win the Super Bowl, and probably more the Lions, but that's a whole nother conversation. Or you go to hockey, and when a team in Canada finally wins it again, or in baseball, trying to think of the Mariners finally making the World Series. Like, it's moments like that that make you want to work in sports and just be around it, and like that's why we're here. But anyway, let's talk about the San Antonio Spurs. And I'm gonna throw it to you guys. But the one thing I want to say is Dylan Harper is that dude. I just wanted to. Dylan's that dude,
He
and the
is.
Spurs.
He is. Absolutely.
He is. And yeah, and what I guess like I want to talk about Victor Wembanyama in specific, but I want to talk about the Spurs first because like you said, I don't think the series score reflected it. I think the one thing that I got was, and we knew this, we talked about this. The Knicks were the veteran team, the Spurs were the young team, and in the most critical moments in the NBA Finals, they were second best. And they were probably first best in a lot of other moments, the majority of them, but it didn't matter down the stretch. And I think a lot of that could be tallied to youth.
Go ahead. Tucson, I know Tucson has a lot to say, so I'm gonna give it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the reason why I roll with the Spurs in the Western Conference Finals was because they had a 7'5" freak of nature that could do almost anything on the floor. Told you he was four Hall of Famers combined into one.
I
Now,
forgot he picked
I
San
did. I
Antonio.
said that. I
I
said,
forgot he picked San Antonio to
Bro, the
win.
entire so
I
many
really,
people picked San Antonio.
I
San
really
Antonio
want
was
to see
minus 200 to win the series, which I'll
it.
never understand, but whatever.
yeah, they should not. I mean, I get the favoring, but after they lost the first two games, they shouldn't have been favored. So that's the reason why I chose the Spurs most likely. And I am so far ahead of that train than I was supposed to, and I was kind of hoping to jump on the train right as it was, taking off full speed, and it pretty much hit a roadblock. That's pretty much what happened. Um, Number one, if you play 28 minutes in the regular season and then they tell you, okay, you got to play 40 plus minutes in the postseason, you usually are out of breath by the time you get to the second quarter, which is exactly what happened with Wemby. They were trying to keep him away from himself, right? This is his second fully healthy year of his career, and he can't play 40 minutes. He can't play 40. He physically cannot play 40 minutes. That's something I did not think was going to be a big of a problem. I figured, okay, you have this all-time great player. He's entering his prime. Maybe he'll, kick in another gear. It's kind of like uh Dragon Ball Z to me. Elite players kind of had this second win where they hit the takeover, and it's kind of like, okay, I'm in takeover mode. Let me just go crazy. And I was waiting for that all finals for Wemby, and it just never happened. I was waiting for him to, get to the rack or do something. Karl Anthony Towns pushed him around the entire series. Some of it was a little bit of a foul. Some of it was that he was just skinny and weak in the center of gravity. And so that's the problem I have with Wemby. Number one, you got to get your cardio up. Number two, you got to hit the weight room. Number three, you got to figure out some kind of move, some kind of go-to move. It's a problem I've been hearing a lot. And at first I was like, I don't know if that's necessarily a problem, but it's like if Wemby has to get a bucket, what is his go-to move? He doesn't have great post work. He can shoot like KD, but he's not. I mean, if you press him, sometimes he's just not that great of a shooter. It really has to be clicking for him. And so with Wemby, I just feel like it's the LeBron thing. LeBron, you talked about it, Jake. When LeBron got to his first finals, he couldn't shoot. He couldn't shoot the basketball. He was a player that went directly at the rim. And if you go look at highlights from that 2007 finals, he goes right at the rim every single time. He doesn't shoot the ball. And so, when you have glaring weaknesses, I look at it as a positive. LeBron obviously had a GOAT career, resume. And so for Wemby, he'll have to learn from this. He'll have to learn how to be better. He'll have to learn when to shoot, how to shoot. He'll have to learn how to be elite down the stretch because that was the biggest problem. They couldn't close. And if you're the best player, you got to close. All right. That's just pure point one. I mean, LeBron, MJ, Kobe, you name it, anybody, they closed the games because they were the guy. KD, Steph, whatever. And so that's what I got from that. He is a phenomenal player, but he's gonna have to work on his game. I don't want to see Wemby go to China. I don't want to see him go to Nepal. I don't want to see him train with no Buddhist monks, no nothing. I don't want to see him train with no karate masters. Get in the weight room. Get in the weight room. I'm so serious. I want to see nothing but lifting weights and shooting buckets.
Doing cardio. Doing
Doing
cardio.
cardio. You better listen. You go talk to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. You go talk to Hakeem Olajuwon. You go talk to any of the big greats and tell and have them work with you and learn moves. Don't just think that you're 7'5" and you're apart Kevin Durant and you can do whatever you want. All right. Gotta learn how to score in the league. It's not just scoring, it's when and how you score. All right. So that's the thing about Wemby that I have. With the Spurs, Harper's that dude. Fox, I'm sorry. You got to get banished to the shadow realm. I know you wanted to go to the Spurs. You're going to have to go to somebody else because it ain't going to work. You're dribbling the air out of the rock in crunch time. This is what they paid you for, to be the vet that silences everything. Um, the thing with De'Aaron Fox, listen, I didn't think he was that great to begin with as a vet. He's a good player, but we have to remember he's only made an All NBA third team, and he's not really that like elite of a player to be leading them. You got to go Harper next year as starting. Other than that, with the Spurs, Mitch Johnson. I know this is his first finals. He's got to do better. There are a lot of times that you call a timeout and come out of a timeout. When you come out of a timeout and you have the ball, you have to score. Like, we know this. When you call a timeout and you get the ball, you have to score coming out of the timeout, or you just wasted a timeout for no reason. And that's how leads evaporate. You don't tell Wemby to get in the paint. You don't draw up a play for Wemby to dunk the ball. Like, I feel like there's very obvious things. He rolled with De'Aaron Fox when he should have went to Harper, and he did it in the last game, but it was to no avail. You already lost a series after the 29-point comeback. So with the Spurs, they have a lot to learn. Um, Young coach, young team. Their vets didn't step up. It is what it is. Again, these are moments you learn from, you get better on in your career. And listen, he got to the finals at 22. So Wemby will be all right. LeBron did the same thing. He'll be back there. People saying, what if he doesn't? He'll be back there. And he'll learn from this moment. And so those are the things you gotta do. Get on the Giannis. Whoever Giannis's trainer is, you call that man ASAP. That's what you need.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think to me it was just they were young. I mean, that's just what it comes down to. I mean, obviously you got a guy in De'Aaron Fox who is a vet, and we all know, but obviously didn't play a great series. Probably lost them 2 games plus more. Um, so. Yeah, I mean they were young. That's all it comes down to is they were young. Mitch Johnson is this is his first year as head coach. He was interim head coach last year. So I guess you can count last year as well, but it didn't have the head coach title, it had interim in front of it. So realistically, this season was Mitch Johnson's first year in the head coach role, in the title. Um, so I mean, like just from the coaching staff down, like they are just a young team. And it showed. It showed in most of the games. Obviously, like you build a lead, build it for first half, fourth quarter, whenever, and you lose it. That's the definition of what, that is what happens to most young teams,
They
especially in
they
NBA.
didn't even have like a former head coach on the bench either.
Yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's, that they are just very young all around. And I think it came down to that. My second thing is they won that Western Conference Finals title and they were cheering like they won the motherfucking Larry.
Thank you.
What did I
And
tell
that's
you?
what you get.
I to,
That's
I, to,
what you get.
I told you that scared me. Didn't I say
That's
that?
what
I
you
said that
get.
scared me.
Yeah.
That's what you get right there. Is running around in OKC's arena and crying and shit and hugging each other and throwing the ball up in the air and you act like you just won the motherfucking chip. You ain't win nothing. You ain't win nothing yet. So nah, don't do that. Don't do that. And the moment I seen that, I said, it's cooked. It's cooked. It's cooked. You don't do that. You don't do that. That is rule number one. If you've never paid attention, you've never watched, that is rule number one. Rule number one. Kobe would have been sick.
Yeah.
Kobe would have been sick.
Yeah, Kobe would have been sick.
So no, I mean, I think just it was those things, and that I mean, celebrating like that obviously like comes down to it too. Like you just a young team, excited, things like that, whatever. They'll be back. I have
Yeah.
no doubt in my mind that they won't be back. Like they're going to be back.
Can
So
I say one more thing about Wemby?
yeah,
Maybe it's me. Maybe I just noticed it through this series, but I feel like sometimes Wemby tries this. It almost feels performative. Like
You're about
he's
to say
trying,
what I'm gonna say.
like he's trying too hard to act like one of the greats. And
Yeah.
no,
it's like
I've
you
been
gotta.
I've been saying no. I've been saying this shit because I've been texting y'all in the group chat
Yeah.
talking about this gimmick or whatever it is. Trust me, I love the competitiveness. I love all of that. I think we need more of it in the NBA. But he's trying too hard. He's
Yeah,
trying too hard. And that's what pissed me off about the crying after they won the Western Conference Finals trophy. Is
Yes.
he was the main one in tears crying his ass off. No, no, no.
remember
Keep that same energy that you've had this whole year and this whole time that you've entered the NBA. You have acted like you don't care. You have acted like you needed to be competitive. You have acted like that you need to be this hard-headed motherfucker that can't shake hands and all this bullshit, whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, act the same way that you have been acting. Now
Yep.
you want to cry? You just won a Western Conference Finals?
no.
You're crying?
You know how I know it should have been cooked? He was crying when he beat the LA Clippers on a random Tuesday in the middle of the week. I saw that. I lost my mind. I said, you beat the Clippers. The Clippers who started 6-21. Those Clippers, you're crying because you beat them on a random weekday?
Yeah.
What is wrong with you?
All right, exactly.
They
This was
couldn't even
my
shake
biggest
hands, and they
problem.
couldn't even shake hands after winning after losing to New York. That's all I had to say. They couldn't even shake hands. Come on,
Yeah.
man.
No, yeah, exactly. Didn't like that. What was I about to say? I totally just lost my train of thought. Oh, yeah, it was, you said no doubt Spurs will be back. And I'm not gonna go as far as say like I have no doubt that the Spurs will win a ring just because it's the NBA. But with the core of Wembanyama, Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, Keldon Johnson under lock, Devin Vassell, Julian Champagny, like they're gonna be back. It might be as soon as next year. It might be as soon as 5 years, whatever it is. Like I'm confident they will play in the NBA Finals again, and they'll probably win when they get there. My biggest thing was like I don't need to go off about like how they didn't close games or inexperienced team because we did this, blah blah blah. It was so obvious. My biggest problem, I love Victor Wembanyama. I've always loved Victor Wembanyama. I lost a huge ounce of respect for him. Maybe it was because I was rooting for the Knicks, but find me the last superstar, face of a franchise, face of the league that after the press conferences would go, "We dominated the whole game," or "See you never," or some of the stuff that he said where it was too performative and too much of being a villain. Like there's a line. And I think he crossed it and he'll learn. I think that's him being 22 in the NBA and like you're allowed to show emotion. I'm not taking about any of that. It just felt like a battle you didn't have to fight. And like he said it after game two, like we celebrated the conference finals too much. And then just like give them their respect, get in the weight room, get on the track, and come back next year. Like it's simple as that. And he didn't do that. And that will resonate like for Knicks fans, for New Yorkers, for people that were rooting for them. I don't know if they'll ever be able to look at Wembanyama the same, but he's obviously going to mature. He's 22, give him the benefit of the doubt there. One other thing with the Spurs that I wanted to say is like they I said this when it was game seven against the Thunder. They didn't really deserve to win that game either. They got carried by Keldon Johnson and Julian Champagny through some of the time. The Thunder turned over the ball 14 times. They shot 30% from three. Like it felt like you said, it felt like they celebrated too much, and then that's what happened. That's what happened. Like they'll be back, they'll learn how to close games. They'll probably have the best record in the West or NBA next year, besides the Thunder. It's gonna be Thunder Spurs for a very long time. Um, yeah, just didn't work for them. It was the Knicks year. We said it. Like the Spurs were gonna have multiple years for championships. And by the way, I think the Knicks do too. I think there's a real chance the Knicks run it back and win it next year. Um, but the Knicks were the team of veterans, the Spurs weren't, and that was their one advantage. And it was a pretty fucking big advantage, right? So with that, yeah, and I honestly on De'Aaron Fox, I don't know what they do with them because he signed that deal, so much money. Like the only thing I could think of is in some world where Giannis doesn't get traded, you trade him to Milwaukee. But besides that, like, who is going to want to take on De'Aaron Fox's contract besides like a bottom level team that might be able to compete for a playing spot like a Sacramento Kings? And oh, wait, he was just a Sacramento King. Like, he's a great basketball player. He's still, in my opinion, the top 15 point guard in the league. And it sucks because this narrative is going to be following him. Very deserved, by the way. But it's just like, what's next for you? Will the Spurs actually trade him? Because like the way Dylan Harper played, I think that forces Spurs management into being like, yeah, let's offload him and let's load up in other places. Get a vet in another place. Get another like guy that could stretch the floor. Because like you said, Wemby was so obviously tired of late in games. So get this big guy. Like, do you go and trade Darren Fox and then try to trade for Sabonis or something? I don't know what it is, but like the logjam of guards they have between Fox, Harper, Castle, and Vassell, it's very obvious who the odd man out is. It's very obvious. And so it'll be interesting to see what their front office does. I mean, their front office has won 5 championships in 20 years. So
But
we'll see.
the weird thing for them is that like, but they can't even get another like, if they're gonna get a wing, it has to be a good shooting wing. Like
Exactly.
that's the only thing because you can't. They got rid of Sohan. They took him out of the rotation because they didn't want to log jam the paint with Wemby. So it's like,
Exactly. Well,
who
let me ask you this. Do you think De'Aaron Fox is going to be on the Spurs roster on opening night next year?
I do.
he very well could be. I
I
think
think
they've
he will because of the money part. But then I'll ask you guys this question, and you're going to say yes regardless. Should he be starting over Dylan Harper? Or
I,
not yes regardless, no regardless? Like,
I don't.
no.
I don't.
no.
I don't. I don't. No, I think that they should. I think that Dylan Harper should be in that main role. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough for me. I don't know. I
It's
would I
it
I
depends
say
on
yes. Like I think Dylan Harper obviously is clearly, going to be the better player. Um, I mean, like he showed it in the finals that he kind of is the better player right now. Um, so like, yeah, I mean, I think Dylan Harper should ultimately take on that role. I think they should just lessen De'Aaron Fox's role.
Yeah,
I mean, like you don't have to necessarily get rid of De'Aaron Fox. Like
exactly.
you can adapt Darren Fox into like a Mike Conley role or something like, you know what I'm saying? Like it can be that.
for as much money as you pay. Listen, here's the thing. It like all
But like
depends
that's
on
also
Castle. It all depends on Castle. Because Castle had all those
Who was
turnovers.
terrible in Game 5, by the way. Terrible.
He was. And I think that they realized because he had all those turnovers in what was it, the Western Conference Finals,
Yeah,
and then
games one
that's
and two.
that's probably why they were like, okay, we'll put Fox on the ball because he keeps turning the ball over. If he cuts down the turnover, I mean, I think Harper, he obviously anybody can be a one in today's game, but Harper, obviously, I think he's a better two than a one, and I think if you put him at the two, Castle at the one, and Fox, listen, you might just have to be like, listen, you're coming off the bench with you like it or not. You
Yeah,
ain't had no power in this. We already give you all this money.
yeah, I
You got
mean,
your money. You're coming off the bench because this young team has got to be with each other, and they'd be fine
exactly.
off the bench. But like,
No, that's the other thing. Like
is he gonna rock with it? Because at this point, you like no offense, but
I
Fox
think
is a
I think he
shell
would
of
rock with
himself.
it. I think De'Aaron Fox would rock with it. De'Aaron Fox
Yeah, exactly.
is
Like
a
there's
good.
obviously a world, and it's more likely than not. Like he's still a great basketball player, and he's still gonna win the Spurs games next year because not every game is he gonna be absolute garbage, and Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle's gonna be better. There's gonna be games where De'Aaron Fox like wins them the game,
I
and
think we also have to think about it. We know that De'Aaron Fox is a vet. I didn't mean to cut you off here, Jake, but
no,
like we know that De'Aaron Fox is a vet. But this is his first NBA Finals as well.
yeah, he's 28.
De'Aaron Fox has not. De'Aaron Fox has played in what, two rounds of the playoffs?
One, right? Like
Yeah,
before this
Or
year,
before
one.
San Antonio, was it? I
yeah,
think
one.
one
Because
against
Sacramento,
Golden
they only
State.
played that 7 game series against
Against Golden
Steph.
State. Yeah, we have to really seriously consider like this is also De'Aaron Fox is not very experienced in the postseason, let
Yeah,
alone the NBA Finals.
exactly.
So
Yeah, and we
I just think he shouldn't be getting the amount of hate that he is because he has won the Spurs team a lot of games this year. He has been a great player all year long. It just wasn't his postseason and it wasn't his round of basketball in the NBA Finals.
Well, I feel
yeah,
bad because they kind of put him in that spot where they were like, "You're supposed to be the vet that has played in the playoffs, that helps and silences the guys." And it's not really his fault because that's the team he wanted to go to. And if you're coming from the Kings, you're lacking experience. That's one thing you're going to be lacking. But I don't know.
it's
I look at
fun.
Fox differently though
Yeah,
since his King days because I just feel like he Mike Brown's on the other end of this, and Mike Brown, I don't know if people out there know, De'Aaron Fox is the one who got Mike Brown fired from Sacramento.
after
Like
he won Coach of the Year.
after one coach of the year, it was against the Pistons. It was against the Pistons. He told him, he said they were down three. This is when the Pistons still had Jaden Ivey. He said, "Don't give up the three. You guard the three. We'll take the two. We're up three." They who I can't remember who drove, but someone drove and kicked it to Ivy. Ivy pulled up. Fox fouls him on the three. Literally in the post game, Mike Brown is like, I don't know why De'Aaron Fox did that. We told him not to. He got fired the next day. That has been the Kings' best head coach in forever is Mike Brown. They fired him for De'Aaron Fox, and now they find themselves on two different sides of the finals. One is throwing it, one is actually, coaching a beautiful mastermind of a game. And so it's just that's the whole thing. It's like you question De'Aaron Fox, and I feel like throughout the whole time they've had him, I'm like, he's not like what people are making him out to be.
Yeah,
Like you
exactly.
cannot rely on him to do much if he didn't do jack squat in Sacramento. I mean,
Right. Exactly. And we
It's
could tie a knot.
Sacramento though. Like it's they got
I
to the
get it. I get it.
they
It's Sacramento,
get
but
to the
like
playoffs. They took Golden State to 7. Like it's Sacramento.
I get it. No one succeeds in Sacramento. That's where careers go to die. But like at the same time, he didn't do anything. And here's the thing: if he had made 5 All-Star teams and was All NBA second team 3 times, I'd be like, he's a really good player. He's made one All NBA team and it was All NBA 3 team. I don't think he's made an All-Star team.
Yeah,
So he's just like, yeah,
he's
it's
been
De'Aaron
on
Fox.
he's been on All-Star team.
He made one All-Star team. He
Uh,
he
I don't know
made
off the
one
top of my
I
head.
know for sure he's made one.
as an alternate.
Um, I was gonna say, and then we could tie a
Oh,
knot in
you're
the
right. He's a
finals.
two-time All-Star. He made it this year and 2023.
Yeah,
Yeah.
two-time
But
All-Star.
but he hasn't done much in his career. That's just my point. I know he's a good player. I'm not trying to slander him, but he's not this all NBA multi, you know, all-star guy that's like, oh my goodness. He's
If
I
there's
get what you're saying.
in the scenario, like we can move on to the draft and tie a knot in finals. Like this isn't gonna happen, but it's just something I'm thinking. In a scenario where he gets moved, I think a really good place for him. And again, it probably won't happen. Is Washington like completely serious? Like what that could work.
Jake, go to draft. Go to the
Yeah.
draft.
All right, we'll do this
Go to the
another
draft.
time. Like,
Go to the draft. Go to the draft.
fine. I'm telling you.
Go to
I'm
the
just
draft.
saying it could work. We don't need to talk about it, but reminder everyone.
I don't want to talk about De'Aaron Fox hypotheticals right now. Let's go.
Cool. Cool. The New York Knicks are the NBA
You
champions.
heard
That's
it,
what
you
we're
heard
going
it here
for.
first. De'Aaron Fox to the
There's
Wizards.
too much shit going on. There's
Whatever.
too much shit
Spurs
going
are
on.
getting the number 1 overall pick.
Go to the draft.
From one New York event to the other, the New York Knicks championship parade, the Tuesday night at the Barclays Center, the NBA draft. Now, it is pretty certain, or I guess not pretty certain, but I think AJ DeBanza is going to go number 1 to the Washington Wizards, Darren Peterson number 2 to the Utah Jazz, Cameron Boozer number 3 to the Memphis Grizzlies. Jesus, he's going to hate it there. And Caleb Wilson number 4 to the Chicago Bulls. But outside of those top 4, I guess I'm not even going to start there. What's like the biggest storyline you guys are excited for this draft?
Biggest storyline?
Yeah, or something like it doesn't even have to be biggest. Like take it anywhere you want, I guess. And I could start us off. You
I
want to
can,
go?
yeah, I was just gonna say the whole Boozer thing because I really have a feeling that he's not gonna be as good as people are giving him or hyping him up to be. He can be a guy who averages like 17 and 7 in his career, and that'll be fine. He's like his dad. To me, he's like his dad. He's gonna go high in the draft. He's gonna have a pretty okay career. I don't see a whole explosion of athleticism. He's not a bad shooter from 3, but only when he's set and open a lot of the time. He's undersized. He's a 6'9" power forward, so he's kind of undersized. I feel like his game on the outside isn't as developed as it should be, and I just feel like he plays like a early 2000s big man like his dad. Which don't get me wrong, he was one of the best players in the country at Duke, but like you're coming into a new league where 7-footers are waiting for you in the paint,
Yeah.
and not guys who were 6'9", 6'10", elite 6'11". You're really running into some elite 7-foot shot blockers, and so if you're going to Memphis, good luck. That's what I gotta say to you. Good luck, because you still got the whole Jaw stuff. We don't know if he's gonna go. We have no idea. You gotta be the new guy, and you gotta try and win with the whole Jaw stuff on your back. So it's like, do I really see it working out? I see him playing 4 years there, kind of being average, them kind of letting him go in free agency, and him just kind of being a guy. That's what I really feel like. I could be wrong, but his game does not translate to me.
Exactly. And I want this to be a clip the second it happens. And I swear I'm taking my bias out of this. In 10 years, I think Caleb Wilson's going to be a better NBA player than Cameron Boozer. I
Yeah.
think Caleb Wilson is more versatile. I think that he stretches the floor more. I think he jumps higher. I don't think he jumps higher. I know he jumps higher. And for me, his ceiling is much higher than Cameron Boozer. And when you look at what Caleb Wilson did in college, again, smaller sample size because he got hurt. One, he was 1-0 against Cameron Boozer, and he kept Carolina in that game the entire time. Two, beat Duke, beat Kansas, beat Kentucky, was the first Carolina player to lead them in all 5 categories. But when you look at his tape and the way he's able to change games, run the floor, I just see more than Cameron Boozer. And I know Cameron Boozer, one of the biggest things for him is he's won at every level. And like you said, there's a very good chance he's a good NBA player, a 17-7, 27. But down the stretch, who are you taking? Caleb Wilson or Cameron Boozer? Who are you taking? AJ DeBanza or Cameron Boozer? And I think that's something that for Cameron Boozer, we're yet to figure out because his game is muscling people. And it's worked every level. But once you get to the NBA, it's just different, you know?
Yeah.
But anyway, Blake, do you have anything to say about the top 4, DeBanza, Peterson? And then I'm going to throw you guys, one of you a layup, and then the other one, good luck.
You want me to? You said, do I have anything to say about top four?
Yeah, top 4. The question I'm about to
Um,
ask, I'll let you answer it too.
I mean, I just think with the top four, I think something's gonna happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, but something's gonna happen.
Mhm.
Cameron Boozer's either gonna be taking number two. Utah is gonna pull some fucking strings and get AJ. Something's gonna happen. That's all I want to say. Or Acuff's gonna end up in top four. That something's gonna happen.
That's what I was going to ask. Outside of the top 4, when you go past those 4 guys, there's 6 guards. And then it gets to bigs like Yaxel and Ade Mara, who we've spent way too much time on this podcast praising for a championship. Who's the best player outside of those top 4? Who, in your opinion, is the best
Um,
player outside of those top 4? And I know,
yeah, I
and
mean
yeah.
Darius
Oh,
Acuff Jr. Absolutely. I don't see if you're a team outside of the top. I mean, like, I've talked about this, like, with this draft, because it's so good, you really have to. I personally don't love the draft the best player available. I think you should draft the best who fits your team best. Um, so I think like it really depends on who is drafting, but like realistically, who's at five? The Clippers?
5 is
Yeah.
the Clippers, and the Clippers, like apparently, like reports are saying, the Clippers are not going to pick Acuff. Like I think it's going to be Wagler, which
Yeah.
means at
It's
number
not gonna be a cup.
6.
I understand the Clippers going for more of a 2, 3, 4
Tucson knows
guy.
what I'm about to say.
What is he about to say?
Better not ruin him. That's all I gotta
It,
say. Do
I'm just
not ruin
saying,
him.
I'm just
Do
saying, if
do
Acuff does not
not
go in the top 4 and Acuff doesn't go 5, there's a team sitting at 6 that very well could take him.
do not ruin him. That's
I
all I gotta
mean,
say.
here's my thing though. Like if you are outside of the top four and Acuff is sitting there,
We pulling up to Nets
if I'm a
games?
GM, I'm having a very hard time not picking Darius Acuff Jr.
Thank you.
I'm having a very tough time. And I know, like I said, and this is the reason why I had brought up my point of drafting for best fit. Darius Acuff is not the best fit for LA because I mean they just traded for Darius Garland, so it's like what the hell did you trade for Garland for if you're gonna get Acuff? Why draft Acuff if you just traded for Darius Garland? You know what I'm saying here? But like again, this is how good Darius Acuff Jr. is. I don't know how the hell if I'm a GM, I don't know how the hell I'm not taking him. I would be sitting there like I just can't not pass up on this kid. I can't do it. So I think it's Acuff 100%. No brainer.
Yeah, it's definitely a cuff. Skill and talent wise, he's just. I mean, the only thing he has that I think the other guys above him don't have is just the God-given freaking nature of length or size. Um, the other rest of those guys are like 6'9", 6'10". Wagler is just 6'6" that can shoot. He's a shooting guard that can just shoot the lights out the ball. So you really just can't compete with all that. That's something that anybody will sign up for are those 5 guys. But outside of that, skill, talent, worth, yeah, I think it's Acuff. I mean, he's the type of guy that I really think if you treat him right, I think he can set Brooklyn on the right path. Obviously, you have some logjam in the last year's rookies and logjam of guys that you're just trying to
Fuck
figure
him.
out.
Yeah, respectfully, like, look, I don't even mean to curse. Darius Acuff's that good, and he's not only that good for the Nets, he's that good for the Clippers, in my opinion. I think he's just better than Darius Garland, and it's not to disrespect Darius Garland. Doesn't matter what moves you made, I think he's that good. And I think Darius Acuff is better than all 3 of the point guards the Nets selected last year combined. And so I've been saying to my friends, that's just like he's not a good fit, or he's too small, or he doesn't play defense. He breaks games. he breaks games arguably more than some of the guys in the top four did, right? And he could break games in Brooklyn. Like, oh, he's the third freshman to win SEC Player of the Year under Calipari. I'm pretty sure, average 20. I don't even know what the stat is, but he was ridiculous. He was ridiculous, and like, yeah, I don't know. I
I'll
didn't mean to
say
cut you off there.
no, you're fine. I would just say after Acuff, I'd have to probably go Braden Burries. And I just say that because of his consistency. He's not a guy that's gonna jump off the tape in terms of 45 points, 30 points, of 35 points. Like he's not the guy that's gonna just score a whole bunch like a Harden, but he's consistent. Every time I've watched him, he hits shots down the stretch. We just talked about the Spurs not being able to hit shots. Braden Burry's type of player is the type of player that you want to be finishing games. Right now he's at 9 for the Mavericks, which I would love if he was at the Mavericks. You're talking about Kyrie, Burries, and Cooper Flag. That's a great trio right there. Um, so yeah, I think Burries after Acuff. Burries is ninth. I think, yeah, they have Burries behind Flemings and Michael Brown. Michael Brown is a better shooter, but I think a better pure player is Burries. And then Flemings, I would take Burries over just because of the height and the consistency. I like Flemings. I just feel like sometimes Fleming's shot, I won't say he shies. I don't know what he's a little bit smaller than the rest of the guys, like a true point guard size. And he's not like Acuff where he's gonna like take over the game. He's gonna try and shoot his way through, but he has his problems. I like him though. I like Fleming's go. Don't get me wrong, but that's what I
Yeah.
have to go with.
Cool. And then moving down in the lot in the draft, first round pick that I guess you're excited for, or like someone you think could be really good. And I'll start us off because this is some guy. I guess he's back end of the lottery to be fair, but I am excited to see where Axel Endenburg ends up. I don't think age matters in the NBA, but a good basketball player is a good basketball player, and Axel Endenburg could change games. These mocks have him going to right now. I'm on CBS Sports. They have him going to the Thunder. Fuck, if he goes to the Thunder, like, geez, like he might be their third best player already. Um, he's gonna change a team. I really do think he's gonna change a team, and I think he's gonna be a good NBA player. And when you look at what Axel Lendenborg did, not only this year at Michigan, but at UAB, what don't you like? Like, what don't you like about Axel Lendenborg? Like, he's efficient. He plays defense well. He'll bulldoze you. He could pop it from three. He had 95 points up until the final four, and then obviously he got hurt in the final four, and he still played almost 40 minutes and willed Michigan to a national championship. And he's a winner. And so this mock I'm reading too as I'm going to Miami. I'd love that, especially if Miami makes the move for Giannis. Jesus, do not send Axel Endenburg to Milwaukee. I just realized that. Um,
Ah.
but I think he's going to be a really, really good pro. And then one more guy that I just want to throw out there, and then I'm done. I'll throw to you guys. I think Isaiah Evans is going to be a great pro too. I think he's a shot creator. I think he knows how to pop it off the dribble. I think he knows how to pop it regularly. A place that I'd love to see him go is Minnesota. I think him with Ant would be great. That's just another guy. Like Slim's good. He's been playing better defense too. He had a great defensive year this year at Duke, and he's going to be a good pro. Those are two guys I'm really looking forward to seeing in the league and seeing where they end up. But Jesus, if Yaxel ends up in Milwaukee and they trade, and if they do trade for Giannis, oh God, I guess that's the next phase. I guess that's the next phase. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm excited for Cameron Carr. I saw him at Baylor during the preseason, I want to say, like just after the preseason. I discovered him. He was at Tennessee for 2 years, transferred, didn't get whole lot of playing time. Transferred to Baylor this year. Baylor was not a good team, but the Big 12 was arguably the best conference throughout the entire season. And 6'5", the man can shoot from Steph Curry range. He has got bounce. Oh my goodness, he flies. And he shot up it pissed me off because I was like, okay, maybe the Pistons can steal him right at 21. And then the whole uh combine thing came out where he dropped 30. He dropped a 30 ball in the combine and was going crazy. And now he's up at like 14, 15 range. And someone's going to pick him. Someone's going to pick him. 6'5", can shoot, super lengthy. super
Yeah.
agile, can get to the right. Like he is a prototype. He is the perfect guy to select at the 2 or even a stretch 3 if you want to do that. So right now they have the Hornets, which I hate because the Hornets have taken all the picks I've wanted. I wanted who's the one from Creighton last year, 4-time conference defensive player of the year?
Kalkbrenner.
Kalkbrenner. I wanted the Kalkbrenner for the Pistons
Charlotte,
so
stand
bad.
up. Stand up,
I
Charlotte.
I wanted him so bad, and now it looks like
The
the
Kalkbrenner from us. They took Brandon Miller from us.
Do you guys, as Pistons fans, have any player that you want them to draft at 20? I'm seeing a lot of Bennett Sturtzes, and I do like Bennett Sturtz, but it sort of feels like Cade's the guy that needs to be on the ball all the time. Like, is
it
there
has to
anyone?
it has to be a
No,
wing or a big. It has to be a wing or a big.
I, 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 yes, I agree. I think I agree that it does have to be a wing or a big. I don't, I don't hate Bennett Sturts though for Detroit because I don't necessarily think if you draft, if a certain team drafts Bennett Sturts, he has to be a point guard.
Yeah.
I think if he comes to Detroit, we could plug him in at a 2 and he can be a shooting. I think he could be a shooting guy who, when Cade's not on the floor, he can take over that, ball handling, things like that if he really needs to. So I don't not love Bennett Sturts.
I like the
I'd say
Isaiah
like
Evans to the Pistons. I'm gonna be
I'd say like
honest.
guys like him, Slim, Chris Sinak Jr. would be a good one. I think those types of guys. Um, I mean, just the problem with bigs though is I feel like realistically, I feel like once like Morez Johnson's off the board, that shit gets slim.
He'll be there for you guys, right? Will he?
Who
I
Morris?
don't know.
No, he'll be
I don't
there.
think
He'll be
so.
selected before
He'll be
then.
gone.
Yeah, I feel like
Like
gone.
Quintance is
I
Jaden
don't love
Quintance is a
him.
questionable. He's
I don't
Yeah,
love
questionable.
he's one of the biggest
Quintins.
questions in the
I
draft.
don't love Quintins. Tars Reed, I don't. I'm
The
not
one other that I think could work for
huge
you
on
guys if they
Tars.
develop you, if you do the big ifs, and it's an if for all these guys, you develop them right. Like Kareem Lopez could work maybe for
I
y'all.
don't
Like,
want to take a chance though on an overseas
yeah,
player.
no, I don't think the
Yeah,
The thing
Pistons are
about
in a
you,
position where they
should
should take
not. They
chances.
the
should
thing
not.
about overseas players is you have to really be a freak of nature for me to draft you. A Giannis, Porzingis,
Zachary Risache.
yeah, no. It can't be just a guy. Like I watched Noah Essingwe with the Bulls. I don't know where he's at, but he was a 6'10" guy from France. Could dunk the ball like crazy, but he's not useful in a game. So I don't
Mhm.
want to take that chance, and I really feel like this pick has to hit for us. Because if we get a player and then a good pick, I feel like we'll be good. Because if we get Isaiah Evans at 21, he's a good scorer. He can give us 15 off the bench or start depending on who we have. Um, Sanak is not bad. I feel like he's like a Evan Mobley type of player, which I don't know if I want that.
Mhm.
Evan Mobley is good, but only when he gives effort. Like he's not the type of guy where like he's gonna give his all. He's the type of guy where like he's gonna pick and choose his spots. Evan Mobley picks and chooses when he really wants to play. That was the problem this postseason. He had some games where he was like 9-4, and you're like 7 foot. And it's kind of like I don't know if Sinak, like I don't know.
I
Yeah.
think it's kind of crazy. I think that's kind of crazy too.
He's not even a 5. He's really a 4. He's
No,
6'11", but he's like a 4. So
I get what
he's
you're
not a back to
saying.
the basket
No,
rebound.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
And he averaged 13 points. Like I need someone that's gonna give me points on the board. Like
I
not
get what you're
13. He's
saying.
stressing me out. I don't need 13 points for my big man. Give me 20. You right next to the hoop. During need help. We need
I
help.
I get what you're saying. I mean, like, as long as Duran does his job, 13 points is gonna be fine.
But that's the problem. He wasn't doing jack shit in the
That's the
playoffs.
thing. So I don't know. I think it's
So
kind of
don't go weak. No, okay.
I
Don't
think
go
it's
big man.
crazy. I think it's crazy saying that you don't want a player that potentially could be like Yvonne Mobley. I think that's a little bit insane.
I just don't need
I feel like
somebody.
Yvonne Mobley was kind of busting her ass. I'm not gonna lie.
But listen. No, we bust our own ass because we don't even have a number 2 scorer. Let me tell you something. Evan Mobley, some games, has 9 points and 4 rebounds as the tallest player on the court. If he does that in Detroit, personally banish him from the arena. You can't be 7 foot and doing that. And sometimes I watch the Houston games, Sinak would do that. He would disappear from games even though he's 7 foot. I like him. I just can't take a chance on a guy who's going to be tall but useless.
I
I'd rather
think
have a Quintence and he's blocking 2-3 shots a game and
no,
anchoring the paint.
okay. This comes down to my point where I think for the range that we're in with drafting a big, at that point, you're going to be taking a chance. That's what that's what I'm saying. You're gonna if Detroit is gonna draft a big where they are sitting at in this draft with the talent of bigs that are in this
Then
draft,
go Isaiah
going to be
Evans.
taking a
That's a
chance.
safe pick. Isaiah Evans at
Going to be
21
taking
is a safe pick, and he should
exactly.
be available.
Yeah, absolutely. Take a shooter.
But do not take a big man because we will
go
get.
sign a big.
Because imagine
on a big in the second round.
Imagine this: we pay $200 million to Jalen Duren. He puts up another stinker,
No,
and then Chris Sinek Jr. grabs 5 rebounds in a playoff game. I will lose my mind if I see that. Cleveland fans have been. Go ask Cleveland fans. They have been through this for the last several years. Soft ass team. I don't want someone who's 7 foot and soft.
Valid.
I agree.
And we just got a whole taste of a near 7 footer looking soft as Swiss cheese. I don't need that.
Pause. That was crazy. No, that was crazy.
No, he's soft.
Oh, that was crazy.
No, he's soft.
That was crazy.
He was soft. Ain't no, hey, yo, I didn't say that. He's soft.
No, you said you got a taste of him, though.
I said he's soft as Swiss. I didn't say. I said you got a taste of what it's like when a 7 footer is as soft as Swiss.
You added that.
Hey, ain't no pause. Ain't no pause in there. Ain't no pause in there. Ain't no pause in there. Leave that in there. Ain't no pause.
No, that is crazy work.
He's soft.
That's crazy. All right, man.
I think it's time for our favorite final segment. And everyone's favorite segment, I guess. Tweaker of the week. Who wants to start us off?
Y'all got to go first.
I'll go first. Look, I'm gonna be very easy and obvious. It's Becky Hammond. Like, not that dude. They gotta have a dude. Like, and the crazy thing is, like, if you said that in 23, sure. She didn't say it in 23. If you watch the Knicks over the past 3 years, you know that Jalen Brunson's a bad motherfucker. Like, he not set the NBA record, he set the Knicks record with 4 consecutive 40-point games in the playoffs. And so I think, like, it's not only her, if it took people this long to realize that Jalen Brunson could win a team a championship, I don't know where you've been. I don't. So that's one. And two, I don't even know the guy's name, but the guy who went on First Take that said the Larry O'Brien trophy is a participation trophy.
You took mine. Vincent Good.
Oh, fine. Shit. Fine.
No, you good.
Well, think of another. That's called good roster building, and that's called putting a team on the court to compete. So screw that. It's not a participation trophy. That's called good management.
Yeah, that's crazy to call an NBA championship and a Finals MVP a participation trophy.
Ridiculous, dog.
That should only put in perspective how crazy it was during the LeBron Steph era, that it was just Cleveland and Warriors. Because that's what he's referring to. The fact that we watched LeBron and Steph go at it for like 8 straight years, and now it's a new champ every year. Doesn't mean it's a champion. It doesn't mean you're handing out participation. What kind of dumbass shit is that? I saw that.
That was crazy.
You know what pissed me off? He's a Pistons reporter for the ESPN. I'm like, why are you saying this? If we win next year, you're gonna have to eat your words. So shut up, please.
I did not know that he was
Yeah, he's starting to go national though, for real.
Yeah, he's doing more national, but he was the ESPN Pistons
after that shit.
That's what pissed me off. I saw that and I was like, bro, you're a Pistons reporter. If we win it this year, it's gonna look stupid from you. You want me to go?
Yeah.
My tweaker of the week is Trae Young. He went on, was it The Pivot? He went on there and said, what if the Wizards are #1 in the East next year? He said that on a podcast. And then he declined his option. So he might still be a Wizard, but if the Wizards give him a max contract, they're also part of the tweak of the week. So it's everybody. I mean, this whole Washington stuff, Washington is just tweaker of the week. Let me put it to Washington. Because also, they're talking about maybe drafting Darren Peterson #1, and I'm like, come on, man, this is a no-brainer. Um, yeah, bad teams make bad decisions. Let's just say that. So you trade for Trey Young, he opts out. Now you're stuck with nothing and the #1 overall pick.
Um, I'm gonna first go Rick Brunson.
Mm,
I think Rick Brunson's crazy for not saying his own son is the greatest Nick of all time.
That
that was
was
hilarious.
crazy.
I would
That
be
was
so
crazy.
hot. I would be
I would
so
have
hot
I would have
if
walked off the set. I'd have looked at
I
him
would
like,
I would be
I'm,
so hot if my dad up there sitting talking about somebody, this old dude from the 90s is the greatest Nick of all time, and I just won a championship
did you
and
wait, wait,
for
wait.
the
Did you hear about the
60.
thing on Twitter? Did you see the thing on Twitter that exposed Rick Brunson?
Oh
Nah.
yeah, obviously, obviously.
You didn't see that about the massage?
Oh, you talking about his case from a while ago? Listen.
We know why he chose Patrick Ewing.
Listen.
We know why.
But no, I think that's crazy. Like you can't just be like yo, that's your son. I'll be hot if my dad was doing that. If I was Rick Brunson, I'd be like, man, my son the greatest motherfucking basketball player of all time. What you talking
You
about?
gotta LeVar that. You gotta LeVar
You have
that.
to LeVar that.
You
That
gotta
I was
LeVar that.
literally just about to say. You have to LeVar that. That is
Yeah.
crazy that you not. No, that's insane. That's insane. And I get because he's on the coaching staff and everything. So like maybe it's a little different. I don't know, but like that's
Nah, it ain't no different. If my son delivers the city the first title in 50 years and breaks a curse and does it in a fashion where he's dominant in the last game and wins Finals MVP, say goodbye. I'm saying Patrick, who? Walt, who? Well, my son #1. What you talk about? My son #1. Not no Patrick
exactly.
Ewing. I respect Patrick Ewing, but no. No.
And then I'm gonna do Mikal, but Mikal's a good one though. Mikal's a
That's a
good
good
one.
tweaker.
That
Was
IG that
awesome.
IG live was hilarious. He was tweaking on that IG live for
That was
sure.
awesome.
That was hilarious.
Bro,
Jeremy Sohan.
He
Jeremy
said,
Sohan.
"Yeah,
no, you know who my tweaker of
okay."
the week is?
OG.
Oh, OG.
That boy was off a beat.
They
He was
all
fried. He was sitting
they
there.
are all tweaking. They are all tweaked. That clip was hilarious though. He said,
They all looked right at him. He was like,
"Yeah, nah,
Can
they
I
are."
throw? I'm gonna throw in one more. Lunga, you suck. You suck.
Longest tweaker of the century, dog.
you know who was already tweaking? Mike Brown too, bro. Today he wore a shirt that said 10
The
weeks
10
on
Yeah,
it.
weeks
10
was
weeks.
crazy.
No, no, the
10
best shirt I
weeks was
saw today,
crazy.
but the best shirt I saw today was Tyler Kolek wearing the New York Knicks 1993 champion shirt. That's so funny. Tyler Kolek was hilarious today too. You guys saw his live where he's just like, "Yeah, you got that one, I got this," and he's holding the NBA Cup trophy.
NBA Cup, yep.
Get the championship just to get the cup one.
Shout
That's
Yeah,
out to Poland,
hilarious.
man.
amazing. But anyway, I'm gonna throw it to Blake for the
Oh, we
closeout.
gotta. Oh yeah, we gotta go. My ship on 2%. We gotta go.
The Knicks are champions, though. Let
Knicks
me
are
say it one more time.
champions. Knicks are champions. Comment who's the best pick in the NBA draft coming up. Run up socials, like, comment, subscribe, share it out to everybody, mom, grandma, whoever, whatever. Do it all. Yeah, as always, stay fly.